Let's talk about carbs, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Anyway, I'm a dental hygiene student. Let's talk about carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are made out of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. In Latin, the word carbohydrate means hydrated water, out of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. H2O, carbon, hydrated water. So like when you look at a structure, it has this. All you really have to know is monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. The main unit of a carbohydrate is a monosaccharide. That means glucose. Mono meaning one. And if you didn't know by now, a carbohydrate turns into sugar throughout the process. 1 molecule of glucose contains 6 carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12 hydrogen atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 6 oxygen atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A monosaccharide equals 1 molecule of sugar. A monosaccharide is a simple carbohydrate along with disaccharide. Di meaning 2. So a disaccharide is 2 molecules of sugar, right? Because mono is 1. So in a monosaccharide, there is the glucose, fructose, and galactose. Glucose is also known as dextrose. This supplies the energy. It's also stored as glycogen. That's stored in the muscle and the liver, but we'll talk about that later. So the monosaccharide glucose is the main form of energy. The main fuel for the brain, so that way it can make RBCs, which are red blood cells. So this major carbohydrate is found in the bloodstream. So as we learned about the GI tract, it's absorbed through the small intestines and then it's stored in the liver as glycogen. Glucose or dextrose can be found in fruits like grapes, oranges, and dates, and then it also can be found in vegetables like corn. The other one is fructose, which a lot of people think about fructose, corn syrup, whatever. That is the sweetest of all sugars. That is naturally found in honey and fruits. Then we have galactose, which is lactose and glucose combined. Scientifically, it's derived from the hydrolysis of lactose. This is found in women who are lactating. So your body gets that glucose and converts it into galactose. And that's in the mammary gland, and then that's used for the lactation process. And this can also be found in dairy products. Anyway, on to disaccharide. Disaccharide is made out of sucrose, maltose, and lactose. So remember, we're doing disaccharide. So now these are 2 molecules. So now instead of containing 6 carbon atoms, it's going to contain 12 because there's 2. So this sucrose gets converted or hydrolyzed into glucose and fructose. This is because the body can't really metabolize this. It has to go through the digestive process and be turned into this to even be digested. Anyway, so sucrose is found in like table sugar, so sugar cane or sugar beets. Then we have maltose, which is a plant sugar. This is hydrolyzed into the 2 glucose molecules. That can happen during the breakdown of starch. And like we talked about before, lactose. Lactose is then hydrolyzed, converted, into glucose and galactose. Anyway, those are simple carbohydrates. And then this is what the simple carbohydrates look like. They're really sweet to the taste. They're really easy to eat. They're very simple to just put into your mouth. They're very high in calorie and lack a lot of nutrients. And on the other hand, we have the complex, which have the nutrients. So the polysaccharides are going to be in the carbohydrate, and so the oligosaccharides, saccharides, but we'll talk about that. So polysaccharides contain 10 monosaccharides. That's a lot. So first up, starch. Starch is very slow. The digesting process takes a while. Remember what I said, it goes from starch to maltose to get broken down. Starch is found in plants like roots and vegetables, cereal grains, potatoes, pasta, and beans and peas, which are also part of the oligosaccharides. So this picture here starch is basically composed of a long chain or branched glucose units. And see, it's getting snipped to go to the maltose to get broken down, you see? And if you don't know by now, starch is used as a thickening agent. So when we consume this, it makes us feel more full. Anyway, next is glycogen. Do you remember we talked about this in the monosaccharides? We have glucose that gets stored as glycogen. This is where the carbohydrates go and get stored. So that way we can use it as energy. And where is it stored? In the liver and the muscle. When it's in the liver, it helps maintain the blood glucose levels. If it's stored in the muscles, what do we do with our muscles? It provides that quick supply of energy to use that pump. However, if this is not used, then guess what? You eat all that sugar and then you get fat. So too much equals fat storage. See, glucose, and then it's getting transformed into glycogen. So you've heard of like fiber 1 bars. Eating fiber is good for you. It's very true, but it's not digestible. Nope. But what this does is help your poop get more solid. So it's very good for us even though we can't really break it down. So this fiber thing is a bunch of glucose chains, units bonded together. These are usually found in plants, exclusively found in plants, kind of like celery and apples. See? Strips of celery and skin of an apple. So there's two types of fiber. You have soluble and insoluble. So soluble meaning it's able to dissolve. Examples of those are going to be beans, so like kidney, navy beans, flaxseed, apricots, grapefruit, mangoes, turnips, sweet potatoes, oatmeal. This kind of soluble fiber helps us stay full longer. It also helps stabilize blood sugar and helps lower cholesterol. Then we have the insoluble fiber. That means it does not dissolve in water, right? So that means it goes through the body undigested. The foods are going to be whole grain, brown rice, bran, corn, broccoli, dark leafy greens, skin on fruits and vegetables, seeds, and nuts. Why it's good? Because it prevents disease by stimulating the peristalsis, I'm not saying this right, the movement of your intestines. It keeps the colon muscles strong so it can keep pooping. It decreases constipation, prevents hemorrhoids, prevents colon cancer. It's trying to empty out the colon. Anyway, having both of these fibers are important because it keeps the healthy bacteria fed. That healthy bacteria lives in the colon. Anyway, so carbohydrates. Know that there is simple and complex, and it is made out of monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. So the way to remember that, more donuts please, because it's a carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are meant for energy. Carbohydrates are made out of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. I hope this helped you guys because it sure as heck helped me because I need to study and I didn't feel like it. So have a good day and good luck studying. Bye.